Boom. Boom. Okay. I think we're live, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to Series 3 of A History of. Oh, lots of noise. This time, excuse me. This series, we're going to go through the book of the Epic of Gilgamesh. This one has been translated by Maureen Gallery Kovacs in 1988. So, anyone who has first time coming, I appreciate you being here. I'm MathPig. We have Richard. Richard, if you want to let anyone know who you are.
Peace and respect to you all. Yes, I have my own channel, and MathPig and I have been doing these series about ancient religious texts, giving a new spin on an old story, applying the idea of cryptic prophetic animism, that what was done was natural surroundings were used, sometimes actual history, often not, to tell a story about the eventuality of the planet. And if this view is correct, I should be able to find this broad spread all over the earth, even in people who didn't know each other and could not have adopted their religions from each other. Epic of Gilgamesh does come from the same place, from the ancient Near East, as does the Bible and all that. But we will be doing more if this goes well.
Yes, well, the Epic of Gilgamesh and things like that, there is consensus out there that the Bible has been based on a few of the stories, Noah's flood and things like that. So it is a wee bit further back, a wee bit more of an original text, as you would say, Richard. So we can see how that goes. We do have gaps and spaces in it because it did come from a tablet. So every now and again, as you can see, there is question marks. That is because there's nothing there and we haven't a fucking clue what it said. So Richard's probably going to plug that hole with lots of mad things and alien overlords, you know. So
I think the traditional scholarly way to handle that is to give an extra long pause, as if you'd paused between two sentences.
Yes, just a gap, a wee breather.
Yeah.
So Dave has shilled all our links in the chat. Appreciate everything,
Thank you, Dave.
Yes, and the new MathPig channel, our new MathPig, www.mathpig.com is up and running. One thing I wanted to just mention as well before we go on ahead, if anyone in the community has heard or does know of Angie Dell 66, there is a link in the description for a PayPal. A tornado literally went through her house. She has no roof left. Everybody is fine, all the animals are good, and I think the fish tank survived with the exception of no electric now for the bubbles. But yeah, if you've got a spare few pound, if you can, throw a few quid in towards Angie, keep her going, food and stuff like that to the insurance money and all comes through. So Richard, as we always do, we'll go with your wonderful voice to start off with until I get a bit of confidence. And whenever you're ready, my man.
Well, I'd like to say that when we think of insurance paying off, we're thinking in a standard that doesn't involve the delays of COVID-19. So if you're going to donate to Angie Dell, and please do if you can, without hurting yourself, bear in mind that it's probably going to take a little bit longer than we normally would think that sort of thing would take. Okay. The Epic of Gilgamesh, Tablet 1. So I have heard this read by Megan Lewis on Digital Hammurabi. I have heard it read one time. I'm going to try to not get emotional about this and just stay with the text and not let it personally affect me. Although I do know that there are parts in this story that really choke me up, but I'm going to try to get through it.
Yeah, when we get there, man, I'll read it if necessary or whatever. We'll work through that.
Right on. Okay, so for those who don't know, my job here is to read the text and and MathPig when he likes to, and then I'm
going to shout out.
MathPig will present problems with it, make objections to it. We'll take objections from the side chat as we go along.
Yes.
So you're welcome to make objections as we go.
Any questions, tag me, I'll see them. And yeah, as Richard says, he's going to read it. Every now and again we'll stop, he'll give his view, I'll tell him is wrong, shout alien overlords, and we'll go from there.
That'll basically be it. Yeah. He who has seen everything, I will make known to the lands. I will teach about him who experienced all things alike. Anu granted him the totality of knowledge of all. He saw the secret, discovered the hidden. He brought information of the time before the flood. He went on a distant journey, pushing himself to exhaustion, but then he was brought to peace. He carved on a stone stela all of his toils and built the wall of Uruk-heaven, the wall of the sacred Enna temple, the holy sanctuary. Look at its wall, which gleams with copper.
Like.
Inspect its inner wall, the likes of which no one can equal. Take hold of the threshold stone. It dates from ancient times. Go close to the Enna temple, the residence of Ishtar, such as no later king or man ever equaled. What a strange word. Equaled.
No, it's just
equaled.
No man has ever
Why am I
equaled.
pronouncing it so strange? This thing is changing my brain. Equal. That is just equal,
It's
isn't
just
it?
equaled. Yeah, it's just equal.
I want to say equaled. That's strange. Go up on the wall of Uruk and walk around. Examine its foundation. Inspect its brickwork thoroughly. Is not even the core of the brick structure made of kiln-fired brick? And did not the seven sages themselves lay out its plans? I think I want to stop right there. If we can center it back downward a little bit to include.
Boop, boop. There we
Great. Alrighty then. Wow, I didn't realize I'd read that much. Okay.
So, for the people who don't know, Anu is one of the gods, yes, and Ishtar is one of the gods, if I'm incorrect in saying that.
I think the only people referred to here which are not gods were the seven sages laying out the plans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anu and Ishtar and all the rest of it.
It's all heaven and gods here. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Go on, lay your madness on me.
All right. It's the beginning of the story, so this is a little bit slow for me.
I know there's nothing to really go on about.
No. Actually, I did see some things, but I want to read it again to myself. Okay. So he brought information of the time before the flood. So I think this is again talking about the pre-flood story.
Yes. Pre-flood story.
Okay, so in that, I think that again, this is going to be, although it's not clear yet, I'll say I think it's going to be.
Yes.
Some kind of synopsis of or a briefing. I'll call it a briefing on the whole of these tablets and what they're trying to say. I think that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, I see that he has been given knowledge from before the flood. He came home, told about how hard it was to get there, and he's going to write all this shit down in a big stone.
Yeah, a Stele or Stella or Stela. Okay.
Built a big city. Everything's wonderful. It's now fantastic because he's the king. He did everything, and now he has all this knowledge.
I would not be surprised if later the seven sages turn out to be about equivalent of the seven spirits of God, because what I see in the word temple is the overview of the whole situation. That's what I see in the word temple here. That it would be talking about, the temple would be more lending toward enlightenment of the people more than like an actual building. And the foundations thereof laid out by the seven sages would mean instruction from the seven spirits of God, or that's how you'd see it in Christianity, I think, so far.
I don't know about Christianity, but just me looking at it, it seems like it's a place. I know what you're trying to say about it as we'll go on. That's an interpretation you could take, but the residence of Ishtar, having a temple, that is across a lot of religions, that we have a place that the god lives in. It's where we go to.
Right.
Our priests, our sages, they all hang out there.
I think what I'm saying different here is I think temple here is not going to be the house of God or heaven, as in the Judaic religions. The temple would be the house of God Himself.
That's in a lot
Whereas
of
I
religions.
think right here it's not gonna translate that way. That's a feeling I have right now.
Yeah, but it's not just Christianity that has that, man. A lot of places
Right.
have, a building that you go to. It's where God lives. That's not just Christianity.
Sure. No, it's not just Christianity.
Yeah. Right. And we were there. Bop, bop, bop. Yes, you know where we were? We were here, weren't we?
Yes, is not. We were at is not. Go up on the wall, Uruk, and wall around. Whoa. Oh, you're right. We were not that. Yeah, we're at go close. Yeah, go close to the Ana temple, the residence of Ishtar, such as no later king or equaled.
Yes.
There's the word equaled again. Go up on the wall and Uruk and around. Examine its foundation. Inspect its brickwork thoroughly. Is not even the core of the brick structured made of kiln-fired brick. And did not the seven sages themselves lay out its plans? 1 league city, 1 league palm gardens, 1 league lowlands, the open area of the Ishtar temple. 3 leagues and the open area of Uruk the wall encloses. Find the copper tablet box. Open of its lock of bronze. Undo the fastening of its secret opening. Take and read out from the lapis lazuli tablet how Gilgamesh went through every hardship. Okay, so this lapis lazuli. This is a reference to very, very valuable things. So then this box, this tablet box made of copper, decorated with these precious things, I think it's trying to lend to the importance of the overall message. It's according to itself.
Well, again, at the start, man, I see plans being laid down for a building. And I'll agree with you that this lapis lazuli tablet is being given, reverence and obviously looked after, put in this fancy box and all that. The tablet is the story of how Gilgamesh went through every hardship.
Right, so it's claiming it is important within the story of itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the layout
that means it's definitely important.
I think this is what we would find at the start of a book. This is the prologue. This is the prologue, sorry, telling us what we are. I don't think this is actually the epics of what Gilgamesh did. This is the prologue to the story, and the lapis lazuli tablet is where they have been written down, giving it importance.
Right on.
Right.
Oh, we can fit that one all in one screen. Great. Supreme over other kings, lordly in appearance, he is the hero, born of Uruk, the goring wild bull. He walks out in front, the leader, and walks at the rear, trusted by his companions. Mighty net, protector of his people, raging flood wave, who destroys even walls of stone. Offspring of Lugalbanda, Gilgamesh is strong to perfection. Son of the August cow, Rimat Nissan, Gilgamesh is awesome to perfection. It was he who opened the mountain passes, who dug wells on the flank of the mountain. That's very interesting. No, wait, let's not move on. Let's not move on. It's
basically just blowing smoke up Gilgamesh's ass. That's all this is doing.
Okay, so he's the dude.
He
basically
is the fucking dude. Like, he is awesome. He is perfection. He is so strong. He is amazing. He is a leader. He's the hero.
I've maintained for some time that the word hero in all these, whether it's spelled out or not or just described, that the hero of the story will be the hero of all the stories. So then I could change, if that's correct, I can exchange the word Gilgamesh for Christ.
Right. So we're going to go, right, that's what we're doing. Okay. Page 1, okay. Gilgamesh is Christ on page 1.
Gilgamesh is claim 1. Where's the notebook? Hey, we better start from the start, man.
Are we opening a notepad for this? Right. Hold on. We're opening a notepad.
May as well.
Okay. New text document. And
I'll say at least that Gilgamesh is either God or Christ. We'll find out later.
okay, so Gilgamesh is Christ / God, yeah.
It's got to be one of the two. And I think he's going to be the Christ. I'm leaning toward Christ now. Right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. And we're going to just fix this. We're going to put a few dots and we're going to go reference page 1.
Did not get past the first page. Richard made a claim.
Yeah, no, just as long as we're making sure, because when we did this the last time, we forgot what the reference point was and we were trying to remember why we wrote down the mad claim.
Oh, that's right. Peace and respect, Bill Ashby, also Spartan Theology, Brainbug, Mama Atheist, and Seraphim Hyde. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate your attendance, even if it's just for a moment. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all the good people are here.
All the best people are here.
Right. Mad claim
okay,
number
so
1.
what else we got? Go ahead, sir.
Mad claim number 1. That's it. No, mad claim number 1's done.
Yeah, we got our first claim.
Okay.
I wanted to glance over that real quick, if you'd allow me. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Raging flood destroys Swall Stone. Offspring of the Little Bond is going to perfection. August Cow. August Cow. That's very, very interesting. And the reason I say it's interesting is because in the story of the Bible, the hero Jesus is born in the tribe of Reuben, whose flag has a cow.
And the red cow is why you say that you dye your beard ginger. And yes, so there's cows all over the place. Would you believe that?
Yeah, cows are used a lot.
You know,
people understand what a cow is, I guess.
Had all
that
these
helps.
cows, you know, strange.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Page 2.
And
Still
I think digging a well is like saying providing a way for people to survive. I think that's what digging. I mean, digging a well is low work for a god or godlike being, but it's saying, I think that's like an expression saying making the people able to survive. It was he who crossed the ocean, the vast seas, to the rising sun, who explored the world regions, seeking life. It was he who reached by his own sheer strength. Wow. Utnapishtim.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
The
That's
faraway.
fucking better than I could usually do, and I usually don't give a shit, but that was well done.
Utnapishtim.
Utnapishtim.
The faraway, who restored the sanctuaries, or cities, that the flood had destroyed for teeming mankind. Okay, so I'm going to say that's heaven, because after the flood is heaven. So if this works well with the already adopted context, or the context I've adopted, then it was he who reached by his own sheer strength, Utnapishtim,
Why would
the
that
faraway.
fucking stupid?
So Utnapishtim would be God. So then Utnapishtim would be God, and the sanctuary would then be heaven. That follows the flood. So that's how people are saved after the flood.
So Utnapishtim.
Make a note.
Let's go. Gilgamesh is Christ. We can wipe that out. The God bit out. And we're going to write a push to Pishtim.
And Utnapishtim, good luck spelling that.
Utnapishtim, page 2.
Page 2 will later mean God.
Right. Utnapishtim.
And the word sanctuary there is going to be a reference to heaven. And flood is people.
Did it say sanctuary? It said
Yes,
restored
sir.
the sanctuary. Restored the cities, yes. So someone who restored the cities or sanctuaries.
Right. So that'd be like equivalent to the New Jerusalem or heaven.
Okay. The madness continues.
All right.
I'm not even going to close that page. I'm just going to keep it fucking open, seeing how this goes.
May as well.
Right, go on ahead there.
Right.
For teeming of mankind.
Who can compare him with kingliness? Who can say like Gilgamesh, I am king, whose name from the day of his birth was called Gilgamesh?
Really? He got
Well, that's an interesting line. It seems a little bit useless. 2/3 of him is God. Here you go. 2/3 of him is God. 1/3 of him is human. Slightly different proportions than half man, half God, or full God, full man. But okay. The great goddess Aruru designed the model for his body. She prepared his form. Wow, I take that as being genetic manipulation. Beautiful, handsomest of men.
Right.
Perfect.
Just to point out, a lot of religious texts have, manipulating clay to bring life into men, taking, this, that,
Sure.
and the other, and bringing life into men. And you can take
Sure.
every one of them stories that is taking dirt and bringing it into life, and taking this and turning it into life as genetic manipulation. Sure. That's a very, I'm just making that clear.
Yeah, really, 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 really tiny stuff that if you had a small dusting of it in your hand, you wouldn't even notice. Yeah, made of tiny things. And yeah, it's true that it's a bit of a stretch trying to push modern science into the text, so I don't really,
I'm just saying
that
any religious text from anywhere in the world that says, I took X that was dead and did this to it, and now it's alive, you can just stick genetic manipulation in there.
Sure.
For all of them.
Well, I think this one's actually pretty direct. The great goddess Aruru designed the model for his body.
Yeah, well, God made us in his image, and this, that, and the other person made us in their image, and this, that, and the other person did that. Every one of them is going to have this line in some form.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Not for the same flipping reasons that you have. But
really?
Yes, really.
Not for the same reason? Okay, for totally different reasons. Fine, that's great. Whatever.
Okay, so he's beautiful, he's handsome, and he's perfect, as always.
As to the word goddess right there, if a Christian were to look into their text of the origin of angels in the book of Revelation, saying that they washed their clothes in the blood of the Lamb and now reside with God, and no, there's no topic change, then angels are those that came from an earth, in which case at the beginning of the story, when it says, let us make man in our image, male and female, then there's an indicated goddess in that first scene in the Bible. I just want to say there's goddess in the Bible. And not to mention the Song of Songs or Song of Solomon.
Okay. So goddess actually means angel, actually means person from a different earth, actually means all that stuff.
No, slow down. Goddess means God's equal. Only female, not the male aspect.
Okay. Right, moving on.
Equal in power, in age, in beauty, in perfection, equal.
Have you met women? They're generally better than us men. Just take your position.
I think so. I'm kind of biased, but yeah, I think so.
Right, so he's handsome and lovely, and all the women want him.
In fact, he's so handsome and he's so lovely and he's so perfect that he walks around in the enclosure of Uruk. Like a wild bull, he makes himself mighty, head raised over others. There is no rival who can raise his weapon against him. His fellows stand at the alert, attentive to his orders. And the men of Uruk become anxious. In Gilgamesh does not leave a son to his father. Day and night he arrogantly... The following lines are interpreted as rhetorical, perhaps spoken by the oppressed citizens of Uruk. That's interesting. Is Gilgamesh the shepherd of Uruk heaven? Is he the shepherd, bold, eminent, knowing, and wise? Gilgamesh does not leave a girl to her mother. The daughter of the warrior, the bride of the young man, the gods kept hearing their complaints. So the gods of the heavens implored the Lord of Uruk, Anu. You have indeed brought into being a mighty wild bull, head raised. There is no rival who can raise a weapon against him. His fellows stand at the alert, attentive to his orders. Gilgamesh does not leave a son to his father. Day and night, he arrogantly is the shepherd of Uruk heaven. Is he their shepherd? Bold, eminent, knowing, and wise. Gilgamesh does not leave a girl to her mother. That's like stealing virginity or something.
I'm not sure
Is what I think that's what they're saying. He kills all men and rapes all women, essentially, is what it's, I guess.
Does not leave a girl to her mother, does not leave a son to his father, or something as well, wasn't it? Yeah, does not leave a son to his father. Day and night he arrogantly. Not sure. I'm a little. Yeah, not sure. I'm thinking a few different things.
I'm willing to take this as the scholars do, that this is, imitating limitation of the peoples. I think that's solid. Rock on.
Oh, so you agree with the scholarly consensus on this?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Weirdly enough, I actually agree.
Yeah, but everything else that leads them to this point that has all the stuff behind it you don't agree with, we're just going to ignore that, yeah?
No, we're going to give that special attention.
Okay.
Cool. We're not going to ignore that at all. This is the part we ignore. The daughter of the warriors, the bride of the young man, Anu listened to their complaints, and the gods called out to Aruru. It was you, Aruru, who created mankind. Now create a zikru to it. To hit or him.
Yeah, so create something.
What the heck is a zikru?
Zikru. I think Gilgamesh at one stage did have a best friend, so this could be the best friend. There was a best friend supposedly created equal to him.
Sure.
So I'm not sure. Again,
sure,
this is my genuine.
They're dancing on your front screen. They're dancing a waltz, I think, or perhaps it's a tango, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Two best mates having a row, messing around and toy fighting. It's yeah.
Well, according to if I'm remembering the story right, from what I have heard it once, they are actually fighting. It's supposed to be them fighting.
Yeah.
But then Jacob wrestles with the angel of God, so that's I'm okay with that.
Abraham, or is it Abraham
Jacob.
or Israel wrestles with God? Yeah, Jacob. One of them.
Jacob becomes Israel. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Not that you're required to remember that stuff.
Well, I was
Let
half
him be
there.
equal.
I was half there.
You're pretty good. Let him be equal to his, Gilgamesh's, stormy heart. Let them be a match for each other, so that Uruk may find peace. When Aruru heard this, she created within herself the Zikrit. Well, is that spelled different? Is that a typo?
There's a T at the end. I don't know. There's two T's at the end instead of a U. T and U are
I can't pronounce that.
Zikrit.
Within herself a Zikru of Anu. Aruru washed her hands. She pinched off some clay. That's interesting. And threw it into the wilderness, pinched off. There's a Hebrew definition which means pinched off. Slaughter.
Slaughter means pinch.
It's one of the original ideas of pinch off or knife or cut.
This
turned
is
into the word slaughter in the English text.
Yeah, but this is something that Dr. Josh did point out. I'm not sure if it's about you. I think it was actually about praise. And, you read through a definition, you're trying to get the story, and you see three different definitions, and you pick the one that's never used except for that one time, and it suits yours, so you just run with it.
No, actually, it says pinched off right here.
Oh, yeah, no, but conflicting pinch and slaughter.
No, I'm not discluding the other ways it's used. I'm aware of the other ways it's used. I'm just saying right here it says pinched off.
Yep.
And that's one of the definitions is pinched off.
Okay. No, just you mentioned slaughter. I heard slaughter.
Yeah, of the word slaughter, one of the definitions is pinched off.
Okay.
There's others. I'm not ignoring them. I'm not cherry picking. I'm just saying it happens to be exactly the same word. That's all I'm saying.
See, just had to do it.
That's probably about perfect.
So, yes.
In the
wilderness. Go on ahead.
In the wilderness, she created valiant Enkidu, born of silence, endowed with strength by Ninurta. I have to get used to that. His whole body was shaggy with hair. He had a full head of hair like a woman. His locks billowed in profusion like Ashnan. He knew neither people nor settled living, but wore a garment like a Samukan. He ate grasses with the gazelles and jostled at the watering hole with the animals. As with animals, his thirst was slaked with mere water. A notorious trapper came face to face with him opposite the watering hole, a first, a second, and a third day. He came face to face with him opposite the watering hole. On seeing him, the trapper's face went stark with fear. And he, Enkidu, and his animals drew back home. He was rigid with fear. Though stock still, his heart pounded, and his face drained of color. He was miserable to the core, and his face looked like one who had made a long journey. The trapper addressed his father, saying, "Father, a certain fellow has come to the mountains. He is the mightiest in the land. His strength is as mighty as the meteorite of Anu. He continually goes over the mountains. He continually jostles at the watering place with the animals. He continually plants his feet opposite the watering place. I was afraid, so I did not go up to him. He filled in the pits that I had dug, wrenched out my traps that I had spread, released from my grasp the wild animals. He does not let me make my rounds in the wilderness." The trapper's father spoke to him, saying, "My son, there lives in Uruk a certain Gilgamesh. There is no one stronger than he. He is as strong as the meteorite of Anu. Go, set off to Uruk. Tell Gilgamesh of this man of might. He will give you the harlot Shamhat. With her to you. Take her with you."
Right. So, what I'm saying is this bit that got thrown off into the wilderness became Enkidu.
Yeah.
And he's out there living in the wilderness and all the rest of it. And this trapper guy's found him, seen how big he is. And his dad's just went, "Look, he's not that fucking big. Go and get Gilgamesh. He'll kick his ass."
I want to know how his dad just knows this stuff. Like, go get Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is going to give you this harlot. And the harlot's going to take care of this for you. Like, his dad must be best buddies with Gilgamesh. I don't get it.
It's called the Worldwide Stone Web. I don't know, man. Messaging pigeons?
They made brass bells with strings attached in between them and pulled them
Smoke
taut.
signals. I think
Smoke
smoke
signals,
signals.
that's probably
Yeah, probably the smoke signals. Aliens. Obviously, it was the aliens. You know?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. Maybe later.
Right, page 3. Moving on then. Yeah, it's basically, that's just a...
I don't have much to do in the way of claims of page 3. It's just talking smack about how tough they are.
Yeah, my dick's bigger than your dick. So, page 4. Right, I'll give you a wee go at this then. The woman will overcome the fellow, as if she were strong. When the animals are drinking at the watering place, have her take off her robe and expose her sex. When he sees her, he will draw near to her, and his animals, who grew up in his wilderness, will be alien to him. He heeded his father's advice. The trapper went off to Uruk. He made the journey, stood inside of Uruk, and declared to Gilgamesh, "There is a certain fellow who has come up from the mountains. He is the mightiest in the land. His strength is as mighty as the meteorite of Anu. He continually goes over the mountains, continually jostles at the water place with the animals, continually plants his feet opposite the watering place. I was afraid, so I did not go up to him. He filled in the pits that I had dug, wrenched out all my traps that I had spread, released from my grasp the wild animals. He does not let me make my rounds in the wilderness." Yeah, just a...
And Gilgamesh said to the trapper,
Nope.
"Go, trapper, bring the harlot Shamhat with you. When the animals are drinking at the watering place, have her take off her robe and expose her sex. When he sees her, he will draw near to her, and his animals, who grew up in his wilderness, will be alien to him." Yep, just talking smack.
Yeah, that's it.
He says, well, it's a man, so, you know, he's going to go after this female. Can't help himself. Just a stupid man, so here you go.
Mm-hmm. She's got boobies. Chase down.
There you go. That's about all. That's all it really takes. Anything over than that is just bonus. The trapper went
I'm
bringing the
not touching
harlot
that with a
Shamhat.
fucking
Go ahead.
6-foot pole, man.
What's that?
Nothing. No, go on.
The trapper went, bringing the harlot Shamhat with him. I want to point out that Dad claimed to be the son in the story and saying, "Oh, he ruins my traps." I mean, are they his traps or his son's traps? I'm confused.
No, the trapper, and then there's the trapper's father. The trapper is the one who went and made the trip. The trapper is the one who sets the traps.
You're right. That's the part that was missing. You're right.
Daddy is the all-knowing one that doesn't do fuck all, sits at home and tells the son to go out and do all the work.
Just goes points and grunts. There you go. On the third day, they arrived at the appointed place, and the trapper and the harlot sat down at their posts. A first day and a second day, they sat opposite the watering hole. You used to come there every day. What happened? The animals arrived and drank at the watering hole. The wild beasts arrived and slaked their thirst with water. Then he, Enkidu, offspring of the mountains, who eats grasses with the gazelles, came to drink at the watering hole with the animals. With the wild beast, he slaked his thirst with water. Then Shamhat saw him, a primitive, a savage, fellow from the depths of the wilderness. That is he, Shamhat. Release your clenched arms, expose your sex, so he can take you in your voluptuousness. Do not be restrained. Take his energy. When he sees you, he will draw near to you. Spread out your robe so he can lie upon you. That'd be scary as anything, man.
Yeah, wild man from the woods is going to come and rape you so I can steal his goats.
Right.
It's a great plan.
Maybe not.
No, it's not a good plan at all. It's also quite
and
rapey.
Perform for
Sounds quite rapey.
Yeah, that's risky. Yeah, that's... wow. Talk about oppression. And perform for this primitive the task of womankind. His animals who grew up in his wilderness will become alien to him, and his lust will groan over you. Shamhat unclenched her bosom, exposed her sex, and he took in her voluptuousness. She was not restrained, but took his energy. She spread out her robe, and he lay upon her. She performed for the primitive the task of womankind. His lust groaned over her. For 6 days and 7 nights, Enkidu stayed aroused and had intercourse with the harlot until he was sated with her charms. But when he returned his attention to... Well, that's a lot of bragging.
Yeah,
but when I mean, I was zealous as a teenager, but my gosh. Had intercourse with her until he was sated with her charms. But when he turned his attention to his animals, the gazelles saw Enkidu and darted off. The wild animals distanced themselves from his body. Enkidu, his utterly depleted body, his knees that wanted to go off with his animals went rigid. Enkidu was diminished. His running was not as before. But then he drew himself up, for his understanding had broadened. Turning around, he sat down at the harlot's feet, gazing into her face, his ears attentive as the harlot spoke. The harlot said to Enkidu, in some language he wasn't possibly going to understand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. Go on ahead.
I mean, if we're keeping with the story, you are beautiful, Enkidu. You are become like a god. Why do you gallop around the wilderness with the wild beasts? Come, let me bring you into Uruk heaven. I'm sorry, that should be Haven. To the holy temple, the residence of Anu and Ishtar, the place of Gilgamesh, who is wise to perfection, but who struts his power over the people like a wild bull. What she kept saying found favor with him. Becoming aware of himself, he sought a friend. Enkidu spoke to the harlot. Boy, he learns fast. Come, Shamhat. How do you know her name? Take me away with you.
Spent 6
to
days
the sacred holy temple, the residence of Anu and Ishtar, the place of Gilgamesh, who is wise to perfection, but who struts his power over the people like a wild bull. I will challenge him. Let me shout out in Uruk. I am the mighty one. Let me in, and I will change the order of things. He whose strength is mightiest is the one born in the wilderness, Shamat said to Enkidu. Oh, that's a brief. Okay, let's talk about the next part. Come, let us go, so he may see your face. I will lead you to Gilgamesh. I know where he will be. Look about, Enkidu, inside Uruk Haven, where the people show off in skirted finery, where every day is a day for some festival, where the lyre and drum play continuously.
Yeah, so they're just, come, this guy's being a dick to everybody. He's the king. He's not a nice king. Seeing as you're so strong and grew up in the wilderness and have rid me for 6 days, any chance you could come and get rid of him? Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, any chance you have any strength left?
Yeah.
Well, I hope they're going to clean him up a bit. I think they do clean him up a bit.
Right. Page 5 of 51.
I have nothing to claim about this part except for that I think these people really liked poetry.
Yeah, I'm going to get to the end of it and I'm going to ask you to tell me, well, Gilgamesh is Christ. Who's Enkidu?
Well, I believe God's a collective.
Uh-huh.
So the hero can be one person, but God can be many, and I don't have a problem with that.
You said he has a physical being, and he's one person, and now he's multiple people. You do not agree with the Trinity?
No. No, I said it started as one person. Started as one person is not permanently one person.
No, God, it's a label, it's a job.
Right, it's a job, and there's a lot that do the job. They're from what I can tell, a collective.
Right, well, you see, it's
working together of the same mind.
Right, well then, so there's multiple people doing the same job, not he is different people. You need to work on your wordage because it's difficult to... So he's multiple people. There's lots of gods, lots of people taking this job. So
no, there's only one God, lots of people participating in God.
There's only one God, but lots of people participating in God.
Yes.
Right.
That sounds weird.
Yep,
Sorry.
that sounds fucked up. Makes no sense.
I mean, I could just... that's.
But who does Enkidu?
We'll get back to the Bible some other time.
That's who I'm wondering. Yeah, because I've got the interview in 15 minutes. So, Enkidu. Who is Enkidu?
Well, if we've only got 15 minutes, has anyone typed anything in the side chat that needs addressed? Because we might need to stop now.
Oh, no, we'll be grand. I've been watching. Nobody has tagged me or anything like that. We haven't had anything.
Okay.
We'll keep going. We'll ask our questions. If people have any questions or they have asked that I have missed, if you could retype it, we'll see the tag me. And yeah, I'm just down to know who you think Enkidu is. It's someone...
I think Enkidu is going to be an angel of God that the hero wrestles with, just like Jacob, like I said in the first place.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I think. Dave is getting a little excited about this story. He says, have him cleaned and brought to my room.
I'm afraid to ask, is Nerdy in the chat? Because if Nerdy's in the chat, that could be a completely different story that we will not talk about, but I don't know what's going on.
It sounds very classy.
I don't know.
It almost sounds like a line from a movie. Have him cleaned up and brought to my room. Right away. Be smart about it.
With some caviar.
And some caviar.
Well, Richard,
Perhaps
what
nice
page did we just hit? We just finished page 5, right?
Yeah, we just finished 5.
Yeah, we'll just highlight this and we'll talk shite for the last 5 minutes or so.
Right. Because you have this other thing. You
Yeah.
have other commitments and you should fulfill them. And I agree with you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm literally going to just click one button and move over. So, right, close and leave. We're going to close that with your random mad claims. We're going to save that. And I'm going to go into this. And if I remember the right button... 2 peeps. There we go.
At Jonah Epstein, yes, I believe that God is a committee. I could say it like there was a first Christ that established God and then employed others to do the same thing, and they as a collective are God. So continuous, another Christ, another Christ, another Christ, another Christ, on through the universe is what I think the story is telling. Yeah, it sounds absolutely crazy, but I think that's what the story's telling.
Yeah, well, if we're going with craziness, I think that Brainbug has it bang on. Enkidu is Sasquatch.
No, it's a Yeti. It's not a Sasquatch. You're in the wrong part of the world. This is below Russia.
Wrong imaginary half-man bear pig.
Yeah, Sasquatch is in the Americas, man. Get your breeding right. You got the wrong species there, bud.
Well, yes.
Anyone else making serious things? Read what Dave wrote last.
Yeah, I did see that, man. Dave likes them dirty. What can we say?
Jeez, Dave.
Serpent's in the chat shouting, Alien Overlords! Alien Overlords!
Alien Overlords!
Right, well, that was a short wee episode. Next week we will be back to the normal time of 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
I have an interview straight after this. We'll be back in 12 minutes. We've got me, Mama Atheist, and Maddie from Science Side Up. And yeah, my brain's not... I'm going to be the small brain. All these smart people, all these sciences with their degrees and stuff.
Well, you know what? We could always choose to learn.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to surround myself with smart women. You know, best thing to do.
There's definitely dumber things to do than that.
So, Richard, if you want to just let everyone know, if they don't know, all the links are in the description. The link for Angie's PayPal also in the description. Anything helps, anything at all, if you can, definitely worthwhile. And yeah, other stuff, bits and bobs. And as I say, MathPig.com is up and running. It's fuck all, but I'm quite happy to have a website now, and it's a .com. So yeah.
Well, would you shill MathPig.com just a little bit, that it's going to be a resource for organization and support of everyone? That's the idea.
Yeah, it's going to be a hub for everybody who can find who we are and our groups and communicate. And I don't know what happened to my camera. My face has just vanished now. Other than that, yes, it will eventually, hopefully, become something. At the minute now, you can hardly even fucking read the writing on the damn thing.
MathPig became the Matrix.
Yeah, it's just lost my head. I don't know what's happened. So, I'll have to go fix that before we can do this. And everybody, let me see, where's the button? Can I bring it? Ah, fuck it, we'll put the face up. There you go. You can all see my ugly mug.
It's not ugly. You're very normal looking.
Oh, there's a carton of orange juice on the table. Hide all the mess.
I'd even go from somewhere between normal to handsome. I would even go that far.
Shiny forehead, shiny forehead.
Hey, bald is a hairstyle. Ask Ocean Keltoy.
I appreciate that. Definitely through, man. So, everybody, we will see you back here in 10 minutes. And for this, we will oink and out. And I can't find fucking too many scenes now.